Yo, what up, Facebook? What up, YouTube? What's going on, guys? Okay, tonight, guys, tonight is the night. I'm super fired up right now. Super fired up. Who do we have joining us today? We've got Marc Prestwood. Come on down. Thanks a lot, brother. Appreciate that. We've got Ariel. How are you? Hello. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. We've got Angeline live from New York. Michelle, how are you? Great to have you here. Great to see you back. Okay, guys. So what we're going to do is tonight at 7:00 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to be talking about how to create an income explosion on the internet, okay, within a 30 to 90 day period of time. Okay, now in the event that you are currently with a home-based business industry, let me just get this lined up here, get this microphone action going on. In the event that you're in the home-based business model, okay, you could be in network marketing, you could be an affiliate marketer, you could be in the direct sales industry. And a lot of people don't realize that direct sales, guys, just so you know, this includes real estate. Okay, if you're a realtor, if you're a mortgage broker, if you're in the insurance industry, if you're in the automotive industry, you may be actually even in door-to-door sales. Okay, now any of those things are actually direct sales. Even if you work in a retail outlet, like a shoe store, a clothing store, or something where it's you and you're talking to a customer or a client, right? And you want to be able to close a deal. Okay. This strategy, just so you know, also works for venture capital, raising money, stock market, anything where you're acquiring customers, coaches, trainers, anything like that, okay? And it doesn't matter what price point that you're talking about, okay? It could be low ticket, medium ticket, or high ticket. You might be getting listings as a realtor, as an example, or you could be doing multi-million-dollar deals, okay? One of my students, he's maybe about 90 days into learning this formula, and he already closed a 7-figure deal. Okay. And he's already got multiple income streams now from learning this particular formula. Okay. So any one of the verticals, okay, any one of these verticals, this is a secret that I have implemented over the last 3 decades. And once you learn it, and once you understand it and understand the psychology behind how the secret works, your income goes like this, right up to the top like a rocket launcher. It's phenomenon, guys. I'm telling you, it's a phenomenon. Okay, so what do we got here? We have Linda. Quebec City is in the house. Angeline live from New York. We've got Alicia. Good evening. Well, we're only at 1:15 here, so you're probably East Coast. Emmanuel, hello, how are you? Pierre Ingram is in the house, welcome. John, welcome, how are you today? Angeline says, let's do this. James Mike Brown, hey. Yeah. Awesome, bro, awesome. Michael Ray Standard, how are you, sir? Good to see you here. Joshua, see you live real soon, Darren Little. Got to get some sleep now. Okay, sounds good. Absolutely, Angeline, boom. Okay, guys, so here's the thing. In our particular business model, I equate this a lot to the real estate industry, because when I was growing up, my dad was in real estate. He sold, commercial properties, okay? So, like shopping malls and larger buildings, apartment blocks and stuff like that, right? And he said to me that, Darren, when it comes to real estate, if you're going to invest into real estate, it's all about three things when it comes to real estate. And I said, well, what are they? Right? He said, location, location, location. Now, in our particular industry, in the home-based business market, and it doesn't matter if you're dealing with affiliate products, network marketing companies, product services, doesn't matter. It's a timing-based business model, okay? Timing is, to our particular industry, exactly the same as location is to real estate, okay? So there you've got sort of this correlation. Now, in the event, this is kind of like the perfect storm of what we're talking about here, because when you've got a situation where you've got some stability, right? You got stability and you have something that's hot, okay? Something that's hot that hits mass market that everybody not only wants but needs, then you have a situation where it goes like this, like a rocket launcher. And it's all based upon timing, okay? And I call it's called first mover's advantage, right? In our particular industry, because when you have something that's hot and it's producing a significant amount of cash flow for the people, it starts to go completely viral, okay? Especially when it comes to social media. And you're talking about generating these type of results, okay? Now, if you ever want to get into traction within your company, doesn't matter what it is that you're marketing, your number one goal when you come out of the gate is to get results, okay? Results, whether it's lead generation results, whether it's the size of your team results, right? How many people that you've either personally sponsored, or how large your team has grown over a specific period of time, or the amount of income that you've been able to generate, say over a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, right? Or what sort of duplication is there within your team, within your group, on their process of expanding in all of those same areas, okay? Those are the things that are going to truly become your attractor factor and your pull, your magnetic pull on your ability to recruit, especially if you're looking to recruit top leaders, top income earners, and people that have significant influence. It's great to say that you have some sort of a hot business opportunity, but what are the results? Okay, you hear people say that they've got the best business opportunity in the world, but then you say, how long have you been in it and how much money you're making? And that's when the backpedaling typically starts. So they're on the front promoting that they have the best thing out there, but yet they're not making any money, okay? And 97% of the whole marketplace isn't making any money. So there's a lot of people telling these little fabricated stories to try to lure you into what they're doing when it's not even working for them, right? And this is because they really don't understand what to do to crack the code to be able to have a steady flow of leads coming into their business and a steady stream of cash flow. And these are the key areas. Okay, Laura Wall, welcome to the broadcast. What do we got here? We've got Jacqueline, welcome. How are you today? We've got Sebabi Henry, and welcome to the plan from Africa. Awesome. Great to have you in from Africa. My blast went out. Awesome. Good job. Hey, y'all. Darlene Eaton, what's going on? What's going on? We've got an electronics assembling factory and printed circuit boards manufacturing industry. Okay, cool. Cool. Well, if you're selling any type of products, I can tell you that if you've got if you're the seller and you've got people that you're selling the product to, that's called a direct sale, and this can definitely help you. Chris Napa, welcome. I asked that question the other the other to someone if they were top earners in their company, and she blocked me. Nobody wants to admit that they're not making any money, especially when they claim that they've got the best thing since sliced bread. But then you ask them to log in and show you their back office, and then there's the panic mode that starts. Vladislav, what's going on, brother? I just had a person claim they're making 15K a week with only 1 to 5 likes max on their page and no branding. Well, truthfully, James, it's not necessarily, those two don't necessarily correlate, just so you know, okay? That's only if a person is using Facebook as their primary marketing strategy. But as an example, I have a LinkedIn account, right? But I don't really use it much. I've got a Twitter account. I've got an Instagram account, but I don't really use them much. Facebook is sort of my primary focus. Facebook and Facebook groups and chat, that's my primary driver. So they may have connected with you on Facebook, but their core, their driver may be Instagram. They may be running Facebook ads. They could be doing solo ads. Maybe they built up a big email list and they ran a campaign to their list. They could be in CPA marketing, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean because they don't have huge engagement that the story's not true, okay? Now, in the event that you ask them to log into their back office and they start backpedaling, then that's a different story, okay? But though not necessarily do the two correlate. And I'm going to tell you the story that actually happened. Now, I have no idea whether or not the story is actually true, but in one of my groups, I was telling people about the strategy that I use on Facebook with some organic strategies. And the guy was like, why would you ever tell anybody to do that? They're just going to end up wasting their time and spinning their wheels. And I said, well, it generated like over $1.6 million with no paid ads. And his response to me was that he'd used paid traffic to make $143 million on the internet, right? But yet his page didn't look like there was anything going on at all, right? So, that's just an example of what I'm talking about. Okay, Pam Phillips is tuning in from Arizona. Welcome. How are you? We've got Aaron Matthew Finkel. Hello, Darren, from Wheeling, Illinois. I think that's Illinois, IL. Some of these short forms of the states and whatnot, I'm not really too familiar with them because I'm from Canada. Kenneth, welcome. How are you, sir? And we've got Shazad tuning in from Pakistan. And James Mike Brown says, wow, that's wild. Okay, guys, so here's what's happening, okay? If in the event that you've been following some of my most recent posts and the test marketing campaign that I just finished. So I ran a test. In 12 days, it generated $13,400 and change. The previous test that myself and my business partner ran when we did our first campaign with this generated 240 grand within a 35-day period of time, okay? We then taught the strategy to thousands of people that had never marketed before a day in their life, okay? Our goal was to help 100 families add an extra $100,000 to their annual incomes. And people came from all over the world, okay? People came from all walks of life. There was people that were 2 days with no rent and an eviction notice, 6 children that went on to do $13,800 month one, $157,000 their first year, and they now own their own advertising agency. There was people that were realtors, mortgage brokers that applied this strategy. We helped one mortgage broker or one realtor make an extra $250,000 in less than 2 years in real estate commissions. I had one gentleman that was actually 25 years old selling door to door, okay? And he took the strategies that he learned. He recruited an entire army of college kids. over the summer, and he did $2 million in sales door to door. Okay, door to door in 10 months. He became vice president of the company, and now he owns a piece of the company. Okay, so these are some of the things that are the possibilities of what can happen when you go through a mindset shift. And my millionaire mentor, when I first started, called it a paradigm shift on how to look at the world differently and how to see the whole sales process in a completely different way, right? It not how you would think about it from corporate America, but a new way to look at it. And once you get it, and once the light bulb goes on, you'll be thinking to yourself, like, why didn't anybody show me this? Why didn't anybody teach me how this actually worked? Because if they did, your income would go like a rocket ship. Okay. So tonight is the night, guys, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. It is going to be live and interactive. That means that you're actually going to get an opportunity to speak to the people, okay? To speak to the people that have gone through these breakthroughs, to actually have conversation in the event that you have a question. One gentleman was working at the bread factory, making minimum wage. His very first month applying this formula, he made $23,000 his first month, and he's a full-time entrepreneur ever since that day, okay? The couple that was 6 children, two days with no water, an eviction notice, they're going to be on that broadcast tonight. And, you know, to get into the mindset, like, can you imagine having 6 kids and literally being on the process of being homeless, and to have to turn that around to make $13,800 your very first month coming out of the gate, and then go on to make $157,000 your first year. Okay, now they own their own advertising agency. But we even had one gentleman that was completely homeless, living on the couch of a friend's house. Month 6, he made 20 grand. And now he owns his own network marketing company. And I'm not talking about as an affiliate. He's the CEO of his own network marketing company. Wiebe, good evening, watching live from the Netherlands. Thank you for tuning in, sir. Robert, always good to see and hear you, brother. Always nice to see you pop in. And I think we connect together, Uganda. We can work great. Okay, well, I'm in Vancouver, and feel free to reach out on Facebook, and we can hop on Zoom and can find out more about what your vision is, what your dream is, what you're trying to achieve with whatever type of thing that you're selling. And I can definitely help steer you on the right path and show you exactly what to do. Guys, I will tell you that it is way easier than people think, okay? It's way easier than people think to be able to make a full-time income, okay? It's not difficult, but you just have to understand what the actual moving parts are. It's kind of like a Rubik's Cube. How do you turn the Rubik's Cube to be able to crack the code to make the thing, oh, look, there's the Rubik's Cube complete. Online marketing is very similar to that. And so is social media. There's an actual blueprint, and it's not even so much about the numbers. Like if you look at somebody's post, and then you look at the numbers underneath, okay? It's not even about the numbers, guys, okay? It's about people. It's about understanding people. And I've actually seen people that have massive engagement, 400, 500, 600 people underneath engaging with the post, but they're not making any money at all, right? Because they don't have the right audience. So all they have that's engaging with their content is people that are not in the business model. They're not in the industry. So if they put out a business post, their engagement goes from 400 or 500 to a ghost town, literally. like nobody. There's nobody there when they put out anything to do with our industry or income stories or inspirational rags to riches stories, anything to do with money. So imagine you've got this page and the illusion is that, oh my God, this is like massive, right? 400, 500, 600. And it looks to the people that there's massive amounts of success there. There's people that actually, that I've watched, that will try to trick their audience to believe that they're making money because of these big numbers when they're not making any money at all. Okay. Now, why is that? Because it's the wrong buyer. It's the wrong target market. And it's kind of like, if you've got a Lamborghini dealership and you're trying to sell Lamborghinis, but the Lamborghini dealership is located in, a ghetto area where all the people there can hardly even have enough money to feed themselves, you got a bit of a little problem with your location for your real estate, right? Because there's nobody in the zone that can purchase one of those cars. In fact, the place might even get broken into, you know what I mean? Because the people don't have anything. So you got to understand about your target market on whether or not it's even going to work, right? So it's not necessarily just about the numbers. Okay, this is the illusion that people don't get. It's about really understanding, what do you actually say to people? What do you say to people when somebody inquires about your business? Okay, so tell me about XYZ. What comes out of your mouth next will determine whether or not you're going to get more income in any industry. Okay, in any industry, guys. And this is the thing to understand about moving into springboard. Okay, so if you can go from 0 to $250,000, the springboard to go from $250,000 past 7 figures is, you can do that pretty fast, right? Once you're at 7 figures, you can go from 7 figures to like from $1 million to $5 million pretty quick. So, but you got to understand all these basic foundational principles to be able to get you into action and to an income explosion. Andrea Kelly, how are you? Great to see you back. We've got Maria Ciao Come Vachao. Okay, I'm not too sure what that means. That must be Italian or something, but I appreciate you tuning in. So guys, here's what's going to happen. Tonight, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. After I get off here, this is basically the last chance that you can register. This will be a packed event and it will start right on 7 o'clock. Okay, this is live and interactive. Okay, this isn't a broadcast. This is where you actually get to participate and talk to the students that have had these breakthroughs. Okay, I'm going to probably showcase about 4 different students today from all different walks of life so that you can really get a chance to get inside their mind to see what did they do? How did they go through that dramatic amount of shift? I mean, heck, there's people that are successful in other industries that bridge over into the home-based business market, and they can't recruit reps or sell products if their life depended upon it. And I know what that's like, guys, because I came from corporate America, from features and benefits. And when I bridged over into this industry, holy crap, I was like French. It was a whole different language. And I had to be completely retrained on how to actually do our business model, which is a leadership business model. And thank God that I had some very, very good millionaire mentors that were very stern. They didn't take any shit, believe me, right? A lot of times I got pulled into the office and sat down and, given a little talking to, because my model that I was used to was convincing somebody how great the thing was, whatever it is that you had. And that's not how our industry works. And that's why the failure rate's so high. That's why the failure rate is so high. Michelle, way to go, Darren. Way to go, Michelle. You guys got to jump on today so we can reconnect again. I haven't seen you guys for quite, probably the last year or something. You've been traveling all over the country. Actually, you know what, Michelle? Why don't you do this for people that are tuning in right now? Because I know that you and Michael have gone through some of this training and totally shifted now into a completely different level. Now you're living a life of freedom. But what would you say was your biggest takeaway that you got from learning some of these concepts and ideas that I talk about in training? Basically, no, I'm talking about your takeaway, you and Michael, because I know that you guys had an income explosion, and you're traveling around the country in a RV and living a life of freedom. So what would you say was your biggest takeaway that shifted your mindset? Because I know that you've been in other programs, other things that you've done over the years. What was your biggest shift that put you guys now into the freedom lifestyle? Okay, I could talk all day about this. Okay, well, why don't you come on tonight, you and Michael, and we can showcase your story, because it's very, very, very inspirational for people to be able to see what's possible. And that's what this is really all about, guys, is possibility thinking, using skills that you can take anywhere. And they're a perfect example because they've got one of those, big units that they travel around in. I think they've got two. One's a stationary unit, and then one they branch off to go on these little outing trips with their two dogs. Maybe you got three dogs now, but they got these big, huge Rottweilers, and they travel around the country, right, living a life of freedom. So guys, here's the thing. 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. After this is done, I'm going to throw the final link to be able to register tonight. It's going to be live. It's going to be interactive. You're going to get a chance to actually speak directly to some of these students that have gone through massive, massive transformation to create an income explosion in 30 to 90 days. Some of the people have been able to go full-time online their very first month, guys, once they learned this, their very first month. Darren, love you, man. Love you, Michelle. Say hello to Michael for me. Guys, my name is Darren Little from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Click the link after it goes live. I'm going to end the broadcast now. Register for the event tonight, 7 o'clock. Check your Google time converter. Once we hit 7, the webinar will lock, because typically people come on after the fact with their microphone on, with kids screaming in the background or their TV blaring, and it breaks up the whole energy of the people that actually showed up on time. Okay, so you got to respect the people, you got to respect the time, and show up. Set your alarm clock for 6:30, half an hour before. Make sure you get on, because it's 7 o'clock. The door's shut. And people say, well, I was there. We were there at quarter after, not at 7 o'clock. So my name is Darren Little from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Thanks a lot for your time. I appreciate you. And let's go get it. Have a good one. All the best.